of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good evening and welcome to an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. I'm your host, Minister Idris Todd. With me today we have Lord Holy Apostle Dean, Holy Queen Mother Rabbi Salim off the side of us, Brother Fatullah Aziz, the studio audience, those in our New York, Pennsylvania, and Jersey audience. May I ease his peace and the blessing by everyone's presence.
May I ease his peace and blessing be within and about your presence as well.
You know, praise be to Aisha. You know, it's another sitting down with the messenger and Holy Queen in the company of those seeking to believe, the community of A.H.A.D. We're going to discuss this evening about religion. Topics is adultery, fornication, within the community of A.H.A.D. You know, and the topic that Allah has given us, you know, is right at the heart of things that, you know, I think about the people of Moses at his time, when, the people of Moses at his time, and how the community was budgeting and growing, and Allah sent down the commandments under Torah for the people, and how, you know, different things had taken place, and Allah was addressing situations within that community. So the same Aisha have sent down here in this community is sent down the divine book of recitation and addressing the same matters. So with that being said, we're going to go into conversation with Holy Apostle Queen, those of the audience.
May I use peace and blessing be within about your presence.
May I use peace and blessing as well.
Blessing be within and about your presence as well.
One of the reasons I wanted to address misrepresentation of religion of truth as given to us in the community of I have from Aisha Allah is that we need some cleaning up in our own community. I've been pounded, so to speak, by Holy Queen Mother about some issues, and I've addressed these issues, outside the camera all the time, and to different individuals. But I think it's appropriate that we address some things on camera, because it's come to me directly and indirectly that people misjudge me by what they see and hear of you, you all in this community. And I think it's sad that people first would make a judgment. It's wrong for people first to make judgments without thorough knowledge, and it's doubly wrong to judge someone else by someone else's actions. Like a brother said to me, but he since apologized, Brother Jason, he didn't even stay in the community long. He said he know I'm not right because of the people I be hanging out with. Now, the world needs to know that I don't hang out with y'all. I don't hang out with any of you. We meet here, we sit before the camera, we discuss what we discuss, and we don't discuss it on a Thursday or a Friday or a Sunday or through the week. We basically don't really see each other. And we sit down and say what we're going to discuss. This is what we're going to discuss today. This community has gone through a lot of changes, ups and downs throughout the years. And I've seen a lot of spirits come in here, and some of them have come in here full of life and died on us. Some have come dead and become full life, and but most of all, the realization of truth had always been manifested here. And now people's reactions to that has been different. I think it's only right that your associates who you deal with, and it wouldn't be so hard on me if I didn't hear so much talk about different individuals, certain individuals in this community, especially those that represent before this camera. If I didn't hear so much talk coming from all different parts of the city and the state, different areas, I should say different cities, about infidelities. And then for a person that's, let me just ask you this question. If I came to you and told you that I was the prophet of Allah, I was a messenger, and you knew me to not marry, but to go out and have my way with women continuously, all different kinds, different women, right? And to lie to you about things, what would you do? Truthfully,
Well,
in regards to me.
truthfully, Lord, I would be sorely tried by it. I mean, that's something that having been in your presence and knowing and experiencing the reality of your mission of whom you are, but then for you to give me that scenario back then and say, even in the beginning, wanting to meet a person, being sincere at that time in my search for what I believe is truth, and then I encounter that, I can see something like turning you away. That's clearly would turn you away.
What about you, brother?
Be hurt,
Excuse me?
I said I'd be hurt.
You would be hurt about me going out and having women?
No, not that. No, being a messenger and believing in you. That's what I'm talking about. Hurt in that sense.
No, I'm saying is if as soon as you met me,
Right.
you knew nothing about me, and I told you I was the messenger of Allah, prophet of Allah, and that Allah has sent down certain ordinances and what have you, and then I go about violating those ordinances.
Oh, okay. Shock.
That's it? You still hang out with me?
No, I would be shocked first. You asked me initially, would be shocked. Then I'll be tried. My faith would be tried, saying that he's the messenger. And then how could So it'll be a wrestle and a struggle. You know what I mean?
On the real side, I don't think you would even develop a relationship with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't have time to get shocked. You say this nigga crazy. I'm not gonna hang out. I'm not gonna believe this nigga. He out here plugging these women, lapping them, doing all kind of stuff in public areas, even though it's hidden. But other people, so many groups of people know about it. I'm being a man of the world. Yet I'm saying I'm the messenger. I can't see anybody trying to hang out with me on that. I got hundreds of thousands of people won't hang out with me just on the fact of the matter that they don't truly understand what I'm saying. Let alone if I'm out there doing some things that's really unhealthy to a community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And on those of us who are believers, we are. For myself, at least on the level, I'm aware as to how serious that matter is. That's
Yes,
a
it's a
very
serious matter.
serious and devastating matter on the part of the individual. You can't even look at the defense of the Lord. My habit of trying to look for the just for the point of conversation.
You always try to look for some way to defend the person.
But but the realization that that's actually me trying to defend myself from whatever wrongs that I personally might have indulged in, or that might even contemplate, or something like that. That's then the realization that there is no if or and with the Lord A.H.A.D. A.H.A.D is all or nothing at all. It's you can't even function as a representative or as someone who's going to go forth properly. Ultimately, you can't even function if you don't come totally of truth, you know. And that's in speaking in a person who recognizes that maybe not being at that point, not maybe, but not being at that point, but recognizing an individual shortcoming on your individual part. There's a component in the Divine Book of Recitation, which is not in publication, that I've been giving a privilege to see, and it talked about this aspect. Talked about recognizing your sicknesses, the frailties that's in you. And I remember the initial reading of it, and sure, you acknowledge, you understand the language saying the initial sicknesses, but in time, you have to get deeply into yourself and recognize really how sick you are, really how much you need the Lord of all worlds, which you're telling us to come and cure us, to prepare us.
You can be mentally unstable and you can be spiritually unstable, you know, and unstable. But you know, when you when you ignore the truth, you hear it and you ignore it repeatedly. That which the Lord has given you as talents of wisdom, it begin to take it away from you. Now, I have lived to see the grace of A.H.A.D, the beauty of A.H.A.D, be put into this community and filtered right out by the actions of the people. I sit amongst liars, thieves, robbers, hypocrites, who claim they believe. And I don't think they understand what belief is. Now, to the people out in the world, if I really put my foot down, I don't care what they think about me. Because that's why, that's one of the reasons I let things go and say as A.H.A.D wills. But if I'm to serve A.H.A.D Allah in the manner that I'm supposed to, then I got to protect what A.H.A.D sent down. And I'm not protecting it by allowing representatives of this community to go and unchecked and to continuously do things, not week after week, but year after year, after certain types of punishments have been placed on them, which seems like anything short of cutting off members of the body to stop them. Need to be considered. I mean, we're bad. We are bad.
Well, let me correct that. When you say we, you linking yourself, and that's unfair to you. You are not bad. And I mean, the sickness of this is that people say they believe, but like I said, believe is an open-ending statement.
Yes.
It's a very open-ended statement. I mean, Allah says in the Quran that it will send a messenger as a warning, but the messenger is only to warn. And that's it. You know, and we have been given the messenger, and the messenger has warned us. And that's it. The messenger is not at fault for us not adhering to the warning. You know, the sad part about it, the sick part about it is that we would take something so precious that A.H.A.D has placed before us and tarnish it and step on it and spit on it. I mean, if we could really put our mindset into hogs spitting on the messenger and taking our shoes after we step in crap and wiping our feet on his body, then maybe we can really see how sick we are, because we are a sick community. And the sad part about it is that we're raising another generation of sick children in this community, which don't have to be. It's that we have chosen other than A.H.A.D, and we feel comfortable with that, thinking that A.H.A.D words is not listening to what A.H.A.D says to us. A.H.A.D said you cannot deceive it or its messenger or its prophet. It tells us clearly. But in our sickness, because nobody is kicking our behinds behind our sickness, we think we over. We think we have achieved the success of deceiving. But Allah saying, Quran so beautiful, but you deceive none but yourself. Clearly. If Allah clearly wants someone to see, you know that you are seen. Because Allah has power to do all that it wills. They ain't got to be up on you. They ain't got to be that little thing on your shoulder. You know, people don't understand the vibration that people put off. You ain't even got to say nothing, and I know that you're lying before you even open your mouth. Mm-hmm. You know, those is the beauties, the gifts that A.H.A.D has given this community for those who would take hold of those things for its goodness. That we ain't got to be there physically to see what's going down, to know what's going down. The state of our community alone shows us what's going down. I always said we was nothing but the people of Moses' time. Mm-hmm. And A.H.A.D caused me to say that, and surely A.H.A.D made no mistake. They was a wretched bunch of people that didn't appreciate Allah giving a Moses to them to deliver them, and that's how we are. Allah has sent a messenger to deliver us. But we can't see that we need to be delivered. Instead, we want to disregard Allah and this messenger. And then go out there with A.H.A.D signs on, so people could walk by and say, oh, she playing that role today? Yeah. Oh, he playing that role today? I know him. You know how sickening it is when somebody say to you, I know him, and you know, or I know them, or I know her. And you know, when you hear that I know, it's not I know in the righteous manners. I know that devil, that deceit artist, that liar. I know him. I know her. Mm-hmm. You know, it's really embarrassing.
Yes, Mother. If anything, it'd be given because the community of A.H.A.D, the members of A.H.A.D remain, although it should be a higher standard, a reflection of the outer society, the overall society, and its loss and its decadence. But if anything, that we in this setting have to say to those people out there who are inclined to true belief, who are truly seeking truth, trying to see what the real is concerning in past times and ancient times, know that it would be an error to sit there and judge us and match that up with the messenger, to judge the messenger by us, because that's would be comparable to the Christian world of judging Jesus in the same light as Judas Iscariot, who was in fact Jesus.
Well, back in Jesus' day, they did. Mm-hmm. They judged Jesus as equal as they did his disciples and the people that sat around him, and that's what people do with me.
Right, and
I understand the weakness of a person who is not rightly guided to judge a person by the company they keep. See, they think that I'm keeping company with you. They don't know that you and I are estranged from each other. They don't see us as a wall between us, because I manifest camaraderie on this groove tube. When I'm in your company, I treat you with kindness, with brotherly love. So who knows that there's a difference in mind and understanding and practice and habit and insight? Who knows there's a difference? Because the world is looking for shysters, false prophets. And they look at people and say, oh, I see him. He ain't right, because look at his people. What is he teaching his people? And I got people who have sat with me for 20, 30 years. And I say, where have you gone? That's why I got angry when I came here one day and you all was talking about your achievements over the 30 years on the path or whatever. And I just blew up. What achievements? If you sitting here still having to be scolded for things that you've been doing, all these years. If I go out in the world, I'm not gonna put you down. Somebody say, hey, I know this brother and this brother is about this, that, and the other. I have to swallow that. I swallow that. Why? Because I call you my brother. But why should I have to eat crap? But you go out there, you ain't got nobody coming up to you telling you, hey, that man there that called himself your messenger, he be doing this, that, and the other, hanging out with this, that, and the other, going on all kind of, inglorious trips, and partying with the jinn and with the devil, acting as though A.H.A.D don't see him, or that's the way of A.H.A.D. You don't have to, none of y'all have had to deal with that. And see, when people come to you with words that's not right about me, you immediately know that it's not right. But when people come to me or others, it's like I don't even know how to look at them. Just put my head down and say, damn. I know. But it's by the command of A.H.A.D that I don't sit people down from what A.H.A.D has called you to do. See, the fact of the matter is I didn't appoint any of you to your appointments. A.H.A.D appointed you to your appointments. Each one of you have been called, just like I was called. But in the light of A.H.A.D's mercy on you, you look at A.H.A.D as though it's weak, unmindful, non-caring, non-seeing. You act as though A.H.A.D is not the Lord. And then this thing with treating the disbelievers, non-believers, people of the world, servants, straight out servants of the devil, who you bring into your heart, treating them better than you treat the people in the community of A.H.A.D. And only put up a front when I come around. When I come around, it's all love. But see, A.H.A.D is watching every moment of your life. Every moment. And you know what's deep for me? Right in this moment, I feel each and every one of your vibrations separately. I know where each and every one of you coming from right now in this moment. But I have to act as though I don't know. Sit up here calmly with you and talk with you and, Just like Jesus knew Judas was going to do what Judas did. I got the same talents. But we have to sit with it. And if it wasn't for A.H.A.D, I'd be sick as I could be. From your devil worshiping and your service to the devil. See, I know that there's people in this community that hates me. Hate the word of Allah, but they're afraid. So they buy into some form of belief that they little bit of giving. Some won't even give 10%. Never will, never have. But that little giving they think gonna get them to heaven. Well, like I said, with your Christian thinking selves, all dogs go to heaven and all people go to heaven. But it's when you get to heaven, to the throne of Allah, where it's going to be determined whether you go on to hell or paradise. So yeah, you're going to get to heaven. Unless you get cut off in purgatory, you're going to get to heaven. But there you will be judged. And all these things you do on earth is going to be brought back to you. And you know what's amazing to me? From my own experience, the least of things is manifested in the remembrance of A.H.A.D, as well as the greatest of things, equally. It don't miss nothing. Things you got deep down in your being, hidden, buried, that you forgot about completely, is going to be brought right up just as clear. And all your pretending and acting like you're sad and acting like you're sorry and all that stuff, A.H.A.D going to send you to hell for it. Because you know what a lot of people don't know. Prophets know it. And the enlightened messengers of Allah and of all the so-called paths know that when you go before the throne of A.H.A.D, the throne of the Lord, you act the same way you act with people. Whatever habits you create, whatever way you are, your personality, you can't change it. You will speak to the Lord the same way. People have this thought that, oh yeah, when I die and go to hell, I'm going to be right. I'll make sure I speak right. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to be forced to be what you are. And every particle of your being that has ever came through, every corpuscle of blood, every atom, everything that has ever come through you as a limb of your being is going to bear witness for or against you in regards to your soul. They're going to tell the truth about you. And it's going to be nothing that you could do to stop it, to stop those beings that has made up your life from talking. And that's a lot to think about.
You know, hold that thought here. Those of our New York audience, to catch the second half of this conversation, I want to thank you for tuning in. It's been an A.H.A.D moment. May this peace and the message about your presence.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you